You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
So this is a post that I ran into online, right? It stated that she cheated on him, got pregnant, and he adopted the child, right? And he has a T-shirt, I guess, at the baby shower, and I'm guessing that the shirt says "a dad that's going to step up." Right, in a reference to technically him being a stepdad, because legitimately that is not his child by DNA. She decided to step outside of the relationship or the marriage, whatever type of relationship that they got, and she got pregnant. And this guy decided to do this. I'm just going to state this. Um, I would never recommend or co sign any man out here to directly follow in the footsteps of doing what it is that this man did. Let him be by himself. Do not follow in these footsteps. Do not put yourself or allow yourself to be in that type of a trap. The moment in time that you know that a woman stepped out and she got pregnant, that is her responsibility. That is that other man's responsibility. In no way, shape, or form are you obligated to help her or to take care of a child that is not yours, that you know is not yours. And that specifically goes for the young men directly out here. But I want to get into some of the comments that people have stated. This woman said, I ain't going to sit here and judge no one. When a man does it, some women will forgive and stick with him. When a woman does it, it becomes questionable. A situation like this takes a lot of strength and heart. It ain't my cup of tea, but to each their own.
Confusion of the highest order.
So this is the mass confusion that I'm talking about. So she stated that she's not going to judge, but then she wanted to use other circumstances and situations that she knows of by way of other women explaining their situations in order to give an excuse as to why it is that this woman in this specific relationship would be able to do the things that she is able to do. Almost in a sense trying to insinuate that, hey, this man possibly potentially did it first and she's still there. So why not she be able to do the exact same thing to even the playing field? That literally does not make any type of sense. That shows that you are simply there for your pride, ego, and selfish gain, and you are willing to sacrifice the well being and the growth of a child in order to do the wrong thing, which you feel is right. Nah. Another woman stated, everyone makes mistakes. If he forgives her and wants to be the father to the kid, that's a blessing. Sometimes something beautiful can come out of a bad situationship.
Oh, Lord.
As I've stated previously in other videos, women will say a lot of nice and cute stuff online, knowing the fact that that's not how they would react to a situation in real life. If the roles were reversed, as some of these women like to state, and the man went out and did this, do you think that they would be trying to give all of this grace, all of these excuses, all of the reasons why he is justified in order to do this? No, they wouldn't. They would be completely dragging this man, trying to find out his name, trying to find out his workplace, and everything like that. And then on top of that, they would use him as an example to further generalize young black men and black men as a whole. This woman is clapping it up. She said, women forgive men for making side babies all the time. I don't see a problem. Good for them. And if those women decide to do that, that's a personal problem. Nine times out of 10, if those women decide that they still want to be with their guy, it's either because of A, he has money, which means that he is able to facilitate a lifestyle that no other man out there can potentially even give them, or B, he is very good in the bedroom. And yet again, those women don't want to sacrifice what they feel, for lack of a better word, is a good thing to them, nor do they want to give that to any other woman out here. So they're willing to sacrifice that little bit, meaning that he stepped out and did X, Y, and Z in order to have whatever benefits that they have. She said it don't make it right, but women deal with it every day.
Still going on about that?
Yet again, another woman, you're going to see a common theme with this. You have yet again another woman trying to give a justifiable reason because of what other women have had to face and go through in life or in history. She's like, well, other women have had to go through this. So this specific man, he should be able to take and deal with this because of what other women have had to go through and face. Yet again, the logic is not sound. It doesn't make any type of sense. These are women talking directly from an emotional standpoint. This one stated, women forgive men all the time. This is actually honorable. Praise God. Forgiveness, a beautiful thing to display when it's genuine. So, yet again, you're justifying it by using other women's examples of the relationships that they have had in order to state that it is very honorable for a man to clean up after a woman who made her own bed, obviously doesn't know how to clean, doesn't know how to upkeep anything, and refuses to take any type of responsibility or technically any acknowledgement of her mess up because she knows that the man that she chose to get pregnant by was not the right one. So then she went to the nice guy, aka the cleanup guy, aka the fallback guy, aka the janitor, in order to make the situation right, not only for her, but for the child, because the original father was not the best DNA choice. And this is why I continuously state that, irregardless of whatever it is that women state online or directly to your face, women will do what it is that women want to do, even if it's not in their best interest. A brave man in the comment section amongst women stated, she's for the streets. It's not your child. She's not your woman. Here we go with the emotional response. She said, she's for the streets, question mark. Oh yeah, I remember a story about men wanting to a woman to blank. I guess people can throw stones when they have never been wronged in life. Maybe you don't have the heart for it, but he does.
You keep talking, man, and you shut the fuck up.
So what she was referring to was in the effect of stoning a individual because of certain things that they may have done. As I stated before, notice how they're trying to give some type of justifications, or they're bringing in other situations that literally have nothing to do. And I mean, nothing to do culturally. This has nothing to do with the situation. This is a Black American man. This is a Black American woman. This is a situation that took place, and you're bringing in something from a whole nother culture, from a whole nother side of the world, in order to justify something because you feel emotionally offended. Yeah.
Now, find a new rival.
Maybe he understood because he probably was cheating too. There's two sides to every story.
Are you dumb?
I think she's dumb. I think she's dumb. Are you, like, medically speaking, are you
Like, I'm not trying to be mean. Like, are you dumb?
are you? I think she's dumb.
I think she's dumb.
I think she's dumb. I think is she? Do you think
Oh,
she's dumb?
So what she's saying is that women in relationships, after something is basically done to them emotionally, they don't have the type of common sense in order to just leave the situation in order to not cause further damage to the situation, including themselves emotionally, by going out there and trying to cause irreparable emotional damage. Because at the end of the day, like I've told people before, if you go out and you want to do something in retaliation, the only person at the end of the day that you're going to end up hurting is yourself. What if those women out there, they're like, oh, well, he sat up there and did it, so I'm going to do it too. So then you go out there and do it. You think that you're having a fun time, and then you come back and you end up with the forever gift. So what are you going to do? You're going to blame that man? It's like, oh, well, I got this because, he did it first, and I wanted to go back and, no, it's going to be you. You got to hold that up. You got to hold that, like I said, for the rest of your life. But at the end of the day, what will end up inevitably happening is that she would find out that she has this, and then she'll go back and be nice, and then sleep with the original guy, and then try to turn around and pin him for the reason why it is that she got what it is that she got. So, what I'm stating, the moral of the story is at no point in time, no matter what the story is, will you have women out here taking full on acknowledgement and responsibility for their own actions. It will always be the black man's fault. Another woman said, it's taking y'all too long to realize there are no rules out here, and what used to be ratchet and uncouth is regular now.
You smart. You loyal.
It's only so few rare moments and times that I can give a congratulations, a kudos, and a thank you to the awesome and most intelligent and logical women that are amongst the idiots, that will fully observe a situation from the outside, not put any emotion directly in it, not put themselves in it, and they will just observe. They will just look, they will just read, and they will come through with some type of logic and common sense amongst their own. This is ridiculous. She is one of literally the few that I was able to find amongst the ridiculous amount of women who decided to try to blame uh, men or the man in the relationship for the reason why it is that she stepped out and got pregnant. Craziness. But like I said, kudos to the few of you who are against and amongst the majority.
Another one.
This one stated, that's their business. Men have children outside the marriage. The only thing new is the role reversal. If they're happy, I just don't see the point in telling the world. It just complicates things further.
There. Whoa there, buddy.
She said, no different than the millions of women who stayed after a man cheated and the woman accepted and loved that child. It's the child that matters here.
And wait a minute. Do y'all see what I see?
Yes, I do, Dr. Umar, and it is called lack of accountability and responsibility and acknowledgement of one's actions. You literally just had a woman justify this woman's actions of stepping out by yet again, like the others before her, using the millions of other women that she don't know the situation, don't know what was happening in that relationship in order to justify her actions, then wanted to turn around and say that at the end of the day, the most important thing is the child. If the child was the most important thing, then she should have slept with the man that she was initially with instead of going out and deciding that she wanted to sleep with somebody else that she knew was not in her best interest, that she knew was not going to be a fiance, a boyfriend, or a husband, or a lifelong partner. But yet she still decided to do it. And yet y'all expect ordinary, normal guys to be the cleanup guys after you decide to mess up because that's what you wanted to do, knowing that it was against your best interest. Nah, you can miss me with that. One woman stated she'll cheat again, though. Another woman responded, here comes God with the predictions. See, this is what I'm talking about. Even when there's a woman that's thinking logically about the situation, right? Meaning that if you have a criminal that is a thief and they shoplift, and they shoplifted once or twice and they were successful at it, mentally in that criminal's mind, they think that that means that they'll get away with it every single time. This person below, the thief, comes out and be like, oh, here comes God with the predictions. How do you know that she's going to do the exact same thing just because she did it? What? Nah, man, like I said before, you will always have these types who will justify this because the people that are justifying it are the exact same ones who live that type of lifestyle. They are the exact same ones trying to gaslight this black man or black men in general due to the fact of birds of a feather flock together. They're projecting what it is that they have normally done in a relationship in order not to seem or be deemed another type of way, even though we, the public, don't know any of the commenters. We don't know their lives, we don't know their relationships, but yet they take it upon themselves to internalize what it is that this black woman did and then want to switch it around and become the victims internally so that they can quote unquote protect themselves, aka the black woman that is being talked about in this video. And I just had to list this whole thing up here because this is how crazy this gets whenever there's a topic or a conversation with black men. One person said, I want to know what she caught him doing. Another person said, doing things with another man. What or else? Another person said, cause I don't think she just cheated just because. Another person who is from the other community stated, clearly she knows where he hides the bodies. Outside of that, this is some BS. Another person stated, hopefully with another black man. Now, I just want to have people know, and I like to showcase this every now and again when I get the chance to. Whenever it deals with black women in the black community, they will parade around and state that, oh, I love, my family who are a part of the LGBT. They'll wave the flag. They'll talk about pride this and pride that, and I did this and I did that. And then at the end of the day, when it comes to a black man who is straight, who is in a heterosexual relationship, right? They will then decide that they want to throw this directly at that man. They want to make insinuations. They want to make these allegations, right? They want to try to defame this man's character. They want to try to use the LGBT as a negative when it comes to a straight black man, right? But yet these are the same people that support it. Like I said, this is why I tell people a lot of things need to get questioned. It makes no sense. Again, you'll see a guy with a black woman and still try to make insinuations that he is gay, and you'll try to use that as a negative, but at the same time you support your black relatives, friends, or family, whatever, that are gay and that are in marriages and or relationships. Yeah, okay. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow Brother Umar Johnson to give us some great words that maybe many of these women can listen to and also live by and follow.
Stop hoeing around all through your 20s. Stop hoeing around all through your 30s. You give your 20s to the street Negroes. You give your 30s to the pretty boys. They use you up, dog you out. Now you're in your 40s and nobody's jumping to marry your ass. And so now you're saying it ain't no good black men. No, no, no. There's plenty of good black men. The problem is you gave your best years to men who didn't deserve it. The problem is you gave your best years to men who didn't deserve it. And now you see your biological clock is ticking and your beauty clock. See, you got a biological clock, how long you can have those babies, and you got a beauty clock, how long you gonna be looking good. A biological clock, how long you gonna have them babies, and a beauty clock, how long you gonna be looking good. And guess what? When you hit those 40s, don't get me wrong, black don't crack, but everybody declines.